traffic controller caught snoozing on the job now has plenty of time to catch up on his sleep because he has been suspended. Dan Creedon, a supervisor, admits he dozed off, leaving 2 planes to land at D.C.'s National Reagan Airport without any clearance. The union now adding more people to the overnight shift to try and curb the problem. But is that the best solution? Andrew Langer is the president of the Institute for Liberty. Dan, bigger union, best answer?
No, actually, we don't think that's the answer. We think that this issue actually underscores a much deeper problem, that with the incredible breach of security in D.C. airspace that seems to have gone unnoticed by everybody from the FAA down to NATCA, the Air Traffic Controllers Union.
I mean, if one guy does nod off, he had a rough morning, rough day, worked too many hours, whatever the reason is, those planes are allowed to land basically on their own. And you're stunned that they both breached security, a United plane and an American plane.
Well, it's the issue of once it was clear that this tower had gone dark, why wasn't anybody in law enforcement notified? You've got a police force at Washington Reagan National Airport that could have gone up and checked the tower to see what was going on, to make sure there wasn't anything nefarious, to make sure the tower wasn't taken, to make sure somebody hadn't been paid off to let some unknown plane land. Nobody was notified. The Pentagon, Department of Homeland Security, this thing was allowed to happen and just go blithely by. We don't think putting another air traffic controller necessarily is the answer. We think there needs to be some changes to the security protocols at Reagan National Airport and other airports around the country.
And you think we could do that using technological advances as opposed to adding another guy to say, hey, Billy, wake up, there's a plane coming?
Well, I mean, certainly there are all sorts of technological advances you can use to keep somebody awake in the tower. But even if you just told the local police force to go and check the tower every hour, to radio in to check with this guy to make sure he's awake and everything's okay every half hour or so, that would certainly solve the problem. At the same time of allowing and making sure that these towers are fully functioning and doing their jobs.
Yeah, but, you know, the union's complaining, even though this guy was not in the union, the union's complaining, you know, that's why there's not enough job opportunities and we need more people.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is you have air traffic controllers who are making large sums of money, you know, over $100,000. It's a tough job. There's no doubt about that. There are ways you can co-locate other folks in these towers if they want company. But putting another air traffic controller during a period of time when there are only, you know, 5 or 6 flights between midnight and 6 a.m., that's just not a solution that makes any sense from a safety or a security or a cost-effective standpoint.
All right. Andrew Langer, a couple issues here. Number one, we don't need more people. Number two is, why were those planes allowed to land 10 years after 9/11 when there was nobody there to coach them in? It could have been taken over by somebody. Andrew Langer, thanks so much.